Hello, everybody. Welcome. Sorry that the intro splash was a little bit long on this one today. Hope we're all doing good. My coffee was just taking a little bit long to boil because the kettle was probably more full than it should be. Hey, how's everybody doing? If you missed it earlier in the week, we actually did do a bit of a bonus stream. We played a little bit of Guild Wars 1. We did some stuff in the Fissure of War. It was an awful lot of fun. Thanks very much to everybody who came for that. Today we are back to the Legendary Hunt, however. Let me just publicize the video. There we go. And let me tweet out the existence of the stream. There we go. Alright, so yeah, I hope we're all doing good. There has been some news. Now, I don't know if Inks is in chat, but I just saw a Discord message from him. Apparently, Barefoot Matthew, who is one of the devs and has done all of the world building stuff and is a verifiable person to speak to in the community, he did a tweet essentially saying that Menzies is kind of Mingus, but it's kind of Mengus. Something like that. Mengus is the way we're supposed to say Mingus. So yeah, a little bit of a development there, a little bit more down that path. That's kind of interesting. I don't know whether people will really take to it still. Apparently it's a hot topic even at ArenaNet right now as to how it's supposed to be pronounced. I think I will just keep saying Menzies until there is some voice-acted mention of him in-game, if there ever even is. At which point I will change to whatever it is that they decide that they want it to be. Sirius Black says, WP, I'm currently watching a Prophecy solo LP. Do you have a plan on replaying it with your new setup mic? No. There's just too much going in circles, in my opinion. I'm happy with what... It could be better, obviously. It's the first series I ever did. It's... You take any YouTuber, the first stuff they ever do is not going to be perfect. But nonetheless, I'm still very proud of what I did there, and... More to the point, it might even be impossible to redo what I did there these days, because I didn't just solo Prophecies. I soloed it without ever sequence breaking to get skills early. I soloed it without ever using, like, things from my storage and, getting elite skills early and all that kind of stuff. I kind of broke those rules at the end where I had to resort to using Ritualist in some of the last missions. But, like, it was really difficult. And to try and take that rule set and go further with it again now, I think would be almost impossible to succeed at a challenge like that. So I'm really not too sure. We do have a new face cam for this week, by the way, from Mr. Orville. I just haven't seen it yet. I just saw that he sent me a message saying that he's made one. So we'll have to check that out in a couple of days. But apparently we do have another one, so that's pretty cool. You can hear a strange sound in the background. Perhaps the ducking is bugging out? I can't imagine why there'd be any weird sounds going on in the background. There's some weird noise. It's gone now. Now it's better. Okay. I don't know what that is, guys. Sorry. Fixed. I didn't do anything at all. Maybe my PC's been a bit weird. Maybe it's the sounds of people subbing and stuff. Which, by the way, thank you very much. Let's see here. Glassy Ducky subbed. Said, WP, do you have a car? Flying Chicken BLC resubbed for 9 months. Dude, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Captain Merrick says, I didn't know I could do messages. I've been watching since the release of Guild Wars 2. You enjoy my style, fam. Thanks very much. I always like getting called fam, and I don't know why. Probably too much. The song was lagging out for some reason, stuttering and such. Well, hey, look, let's just go straight to the gameplay, shall we? Because if we rush into that nice and quick, maybe there won't be any weirdness with the audio anyway. So here, tell me if this sounds about good, the volume for you guys. The ducking should be working, everything should be going on just fine. So yeah, we got a bit of a challenge ahead of us here, guys. We really do. We've got to figure out the whole Spirit Shard issue. And that could be quite a challenge. Oh, snap. Finger lights. Fam. Wow, dude, you were quick with that. You were really quick with that. Holy shit, that's crazy. Yes, thank you. Thanks for calling me fam, dude. That's lovely of you. 21 months as well, man. You're one of the oldest people who's managed to stay consistently subbed at this point. I mean, you've always been one of the most active and long-term people. That's crazy, though. Fam. Thank you very much. In the past, it just let some beats out. Now it's a cheerant sound. Gosh, I'm not sure how to interpret what you said there, Smitsky. Nuda says, WP, I'm not sure if this is a known lore thing, but I was wondering why is Lorantha in the home instance? At least in the human home instance, as much as I know. It's because Loranthia, when the game first came out, Loranthia was essentially very much like what a lot of these other characters were in the personal story, and that he wasn't actually that major, Like, he had his cool arcs and stuff, and he appeared every now and then, but not necessarily more than Karis and Tegwin, not necessarily more than a huge number of different characters that you'd meet. It was only when Guild Wars Heart of Thorns came around where Lorantha became a bigger character, and for very good reason, because his association with the Pale Reavers is a really interesting thing, and to look at how the Pale Reavers could be handled in Heart of Thorns was also a really interesting thing, and something that I think the devs did really well for identifying, but they may not have gone quite far enough with, in my opinion. But yeah, that's why Lorantha is in the home instance. It's based on different choices you may have made throughout your story, and he appears there like a vast number of different characters might as well. So yeah, that's it really. Damon Wrath, fam to the fam, Fama Elama. Fama Elama, thank you very much. That's awesome. Thanks for the subs, guys. I hope you've all been doing good. Hope everyone's had a nice time. Lots of exciting stuff coming up. I hope that we get enough time to cover all of the crazy stuff that went on with this patch, because there's still so much more to do. And I'm becoming keenly aware that, you know, it's been about a month now, or it's almost a month since Flashpoint came out, and time's just moving too fast. It's like, I've got so much more to talk about with Flashpoint. And then we've got I mean, I can't even imagine how crazy it's going to be as soon as the finale comes out. Talking about all the finale stuff, and then the, you know, ramping heavily into the fact that we'll probably be in expansion territory is crazy to me. Just kind of got to prepare for it and get ready. Caleb Dark says, hey WP with a smiley face. Thank you very much, Caleb. That's awesome. Thanks very much. I'm glad you guys are liking the streams. I've actually quite enjoyed streaming, probably because of all the crazy donations and stuff, if I'm very honest with myself, over the past couple of weeks. But I've really enjoyed streaming the past little while. I enjoyed the extra faux stream we did, and I've enjoyed a lot of these extra length ones we've been doing. It's been nice. It's like, today, you know, I was out and about, and it was nice to just think, yeah, I'm going to come home, I'm going to stream later. It's been cool. There's a lot of things I don't like about streaming, like having to repeat yourself a lot, and I don't know. There's a lot of things that don't sit as well for me on Twitch as YouTube. Like, I really like what YouTube offers in a lot of ways. But lately, I don't know, I've been coming around a lot on Twitch. I've been coming around a lot. It's cool. Oh gosh, I need to actually be offline there before we get any scary, horrible noises. And let's move the chat over here. I'm not using my laptop today, so hopefully we'll be good. The face cam is too small. It doesn't fit. Oh, you're right. It doesn't. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Hold on. Pointing that out. I could have easily missed that. I heard you need some spirit shards. Anything I can get you, tell me, I'll get on it. I've got tons of spirit shards. Spirit shards aren't tradable. All right, so let's... Well, hold on. I'll interact with chat a little bit more before we go off on the whole spirit shard thing. WP, with the lax, you said you were compromised, which is pretty obvious. Will you still do elite speculations with boots? I don't know. We were going to do one on Ellie, but now even Ellie's been spoiled and stuff, so I don't really know. I still have multiple more videos with boots that need to go up. Actually, I should put one of those up today, shouldn't I? Because we did the Vision of Way thing yesterday. So you'll see another boots video today, and then there's going to be another one, and then once those are all out, I'll finally, you know, I'll get in contact with them and say, all right, look, let's do some more recording. Maybe we can do some more on Tuesday. This Tuesday coming up. But yeah, I don't know about that series. It would have been a great series, but people kind of fucked it up for us, and we can't really do anything now, so I don't know. Did I get to the Nier Automata sale in time? No, I didn't, but that doesn't matter. I will happily foot the rest of the bill and pay that out, dude. I'm looking forward to playing it. I really am. And if I can get on Steam as well, I'll be even more excited. But yeah, I will do my best to at least dip in and play some of the game. Hopefully get hooked on it. Hopefully enjoy it a lot. But yeah, I don't know how soon I'll do it. I'm currently playing Prey in my free time. And maybe once I finish Prey, I'll get some free time to then look at Nier Automata. That'll be when I try to play it. You know, if you guys like Boots, he does have his own channel where he does stuff as well. You know, it doesn't have to be just when me and him are together. You've heard the PC version of Nier is a really bad port. Yeah, but is that just people who, you know, like to act like they... Oh, but let me not be too insulting. Are they actually valid concerns, or are they just people trying to be game critics when they're not? Is it? Okay, well, that's two people that have said it's shoddy, so maybe it is actually. Okay, it's actually pretty bad. Well, maybe I'll get on PS4 then. I like the idea of using my PlayStation 4 more, since I haven't played enough Final Fantasy on it yet. Okay, that's cool. That's very cool. Fractal 40 for Spirit Shards? Alright, okay, so let's talk about Spirit Shards. Wow, we got a 10k hit there. Let's talk about Spirit Shards. So, it used to be that in Guild Wars 1, players would hit level 20 very fast, which was max level. And then the devs kind of had an issue in that they didn't really have any use for experience after that point. So they invented this idea of skill points, right? So once you were level 20, whenever you leveled up again, you could infinitely level basically, but after level 20, instead of gaining levels, you would gain these things called skill points. And skill points could be spent on skills, as you can imagine. And so that was a pretty nice system. It meant that once you were done vertically progressing, you would now start horizontally progressing, and experience in theory should have continued to mean something. However, there was so much loose experience, and even with Guild Wars 1 and all of its various skills, there was so much loose experience to float around that the skill points kind of became very undervalued and weren't a very good currency in the end. Everyone always had way too many of them. They added some different syncs for them, come Eye of the North, like with concepts you'd spend skill points on. But generally speaking, experience was a bit of a failure and not something you were very keen on. Guild Wars 2 was a fresh opportunity to make experience worth something again. So they did a similar thing. They decided to have skill points again. And you would spend those on skills again. But then they also decided to have extra syncs, like in the crafting of legendary weapons or other things from the Mystic Forge. And so that was the Guild Wars 2 way of dealing with it. But unfortunately, the skill points as a currency too, just like the Guild Wars 1 versions of them, became bloated and didn't really mean anything. So then around Heart of Thorns, they tried to change it up again. They did the whole thing with masteries as your reason for caring about experience. And they stopped calling them skill points altogether. They added a different way of getting skills, which is the training wheels. And now, instead of getting skill points at all, you get spirit shards. Spirit shards. And so spirit shards are the thing, really, that comes from experience, but other stuff as well. And so now, because of all this like convoluted mess, basically, that I just went through, they're kind of a really weird currency in that my main account has thousands of them. Thousands. I think I got 4,000 of them, and I have like over 1,000. What did we count? 2,000 tomes as well, which is another, you know, just unbelievable amounts, more than I'd ever care to have. However, on new accounts, you kind of have a bit of a problem now, where until you've maxed all of your masteries out, you can't get spirit shards from experience. And so it's actually really hard to get spirit shards unless you have your masteries. And you can't get all your masteries unless you get all the mastery points and things as well. So this account, despite doing 0 to hero, despite having a huge amount of different things, actually has very few spirit shards. Only has 11. And so we've got to figure out how we're going to get our spirit shards. So there's lots of different ways. You can get them sometimes from straight up killing enemies, you can get them from some chests, you can get them from some currencies, and then of course you can get them if you have all of the masteries in the game maxed out. We have to identify what the best way to get spirit shards is, and we don't even need to go to that hard guy, do we? And we need to hone in on that. So here I'm getting berries because we still care about obsidian shards, obviously, but so that's really what we're going to hone in on here. I care about tomes on this account, yeah, so it's kind of a weird thing where established players don't care about a huge number. Like, there's a chasm, right? There's a big difference between experienced players and unexperienced players. So we will have to figure that out. And people are basically saying fractals, and I think fractals might be a good idea. And I'm kind of interested in doing the fractal 40 farm. What do you guys think? Because I've never really shown that off. Is there space for an engineer in a fractal 40 farm? Is there space for that? Do you guys on the stream want to finally try that out here today? Is that what the next phase of this legendary hunt's going to be? We need to get 400 spirit shards at least, but more like 600 in total, because we need spirit shards for clovers and we need spirit shards for the gift of mastery. So someone says finish masteries and start turret farming. That's also an idea. The Corteria masteries we'd have to finish to do that. Because by the way, I've kind of left people in the lurch on this. You can still turret farm. Turret farming is totally still possible. What about fractal tomes? Maybe. If you do your rotation decently, you'll beat out most people. Lake Derek. Oh yeah, Lake Derek's not Corteria. You're right. It's not. It's Heart of Thorns, isn't it? So we'd have to do all the Heart of Thorns Maguma. We'd have to do all the Heart of Thorns Maguma stuff. So just make the vids as if there were no leaks. No, but it's irrelevant though, because the you can't layer a conceit on there. And the other problem with stuff like that is, number one, no one's gonna want to watch it anymore. A lot of people aren't. It's just gonna look stupid. It's just gonna look weird, right? I appreciate your enthusiasm, but you're not the average person. Most people will just think it looks weird. But second, it's also just going to keep pushing people to want to talk about the real thing in the comments, and I don't really want to advertise what the real thing is. I don't want it on people's radar at all until ArenaNet start talking about it. So it just in no way serves me or Boots to do it. Well, it might serve Boots a bit because, you know, even on a low viewership thing, he'd probably get some benefit out of it. But it's just not worth the time to make it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. If this is EU, I would join. Yes, it is EU. It's always been EU. Every video that's ever the Legendary Hunt been, and this is the 23rd, is EU. You like my stance on them? You're hyped? You think I'm doing alright? Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Alright, well, there we go. So, those are the berries. I'm only going to do the one berry farm. So, let's do a bit of inventory cleaning here. And then I want to look at fractals. I want to see how it feels. We need to get a certain amount of AR to do Fractal 40. It's exciting because I've never talked about or really participated in Fractal 40 farms. So it'll be a new thing for us to all to learn together. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I stream every Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Yeah, so the Games Masters want me to make it. Remind you guys, by the way, we are doing an Ecto giveaway. On the bottom left, you can see a number of Ectos. So there are currently 2,282 Ectos. If you want to, you can, anyone who's watching this stream right now, anyone, you can win 2,282 Ectos. You can do it if you want. So we do a big lottery where you get a ticket for the lottery and then you're in. We're doing the big giveaway that we're throwing them all away at you guys tomorrow. And the more that join, the bigger the prize pool goes up. The last one we did was like 10,000 Ectos we gave away. 10,000, guys. It was mental. And so the next one apparently is tomorrow. So if you guys want to join in on that, then there should be a link in chat for you all, and we can see how that goes. All right, let's clean out our inventory. We're going to have to clean out our bank a little bit as well. So we do have money as well from last week's donations. Loot boxes, there's none except one, I guess, that someone sent here. But we got 200 gold here, so an extra 200 G up. We've slowed down a lot since hitting the 20k mark, I think.
The fury is mine.
But yeah, so we'll come over here. We'll nab these. Okay, alright, so let's start selling, I guess. Let's check out, we got the beautiful music here as well, guys. Oh, Lord Orville. Yeah, so this is the guy that, I think it's the same guy that did the face cam for us. Things you ought to know. When crafting balloon bundles, not all balloons are equal. Fuchsia balloons are used in every recipe. Green balloons are not used at all. So you want to craft more fuchsia than any other color. I don't know whether to be... I shouldn't be, but I'm sort of offended that you're even messaging this to me. As someone who's crafted thousands and thousands of balloons and made 100 massive balloon bouquets, I'm well aware that fuchsia balloons are used a million miles elsewhere. However, if this is just supposed to be a fun little TIL for people instead of genuine advice for me, then cool. But yeah, I'm well aware that we need loads of fuchsia balloons. We're nearing the end of our little balloon project at the moment, which is kind of cool. All right, and thank you very much. So this is actually the recipe for a fuchsia balloon, is it? I think red and white goes together, right? Yeah, these are the fuchsia balloons. So thank you. We'll sell these, I guess. There we go, and we'll put those onto the quip. Thank you very much, because they're kind of fun-lovey and happy. Yeah, a little bit triggered. A little bit triggered there. Like triggered by someone daring to give me stuff and advice. How dare they? Have you done the Mariner Plaque achievement on this account? It gives 5 tomes. No, but that's an interesting idea. Maybe we could do that. I mean, 5 tomes isn't much, really. I would rather just learn something. Because that's only a one-time ever thing, right? So I'd rather learn, like, the Fractal Farm and just go mental with that. Go ham with that. So... we'll clear this out. Listen to this music, guys. Beautiful.
Seek and you shall find. More violence, I say. Less violence.
A fitting reward.
Finally, we're clear. Oh my god. Yes, I forced you to listen to that just to make you hate it. Hate it just as much as I do. There we go. We're clear. We're finally free, guys. It's just going to replay now, though, because we've got the music interval really low as well from before. Here we go. Another basic salvage kit. We gotta get rid of all this random stuff in our inventory here. The legendary insights I really don't need either. I don't know, man. We should Fractal 40 farm on this guy, because this is our cleanest guy, right? This is our, you know, best geared, best, most appropriately set up person. So what would we look for if we were doing this? We'd want a PS, a chrono,
May the stars guide you.
a druid. Is that kind of what we would go for? We just go for, like, you know, a 50% raid kind of idea. Let's drop the druid shoulder guards, put the scrapper's mask in there. The food is fine, and I could use that. The hammer, we don't care. The reason I'm clearing this out, guys, is because we could get a lot of loot from Fractal 40, right? So the idea is to you know, have as clean inventory as possible so that we don't bog the runs down by constantly having to vendor. Yeah. And then we got the ascended materials, which I guess I can... I mean, look at all this dragonite. Berry farming just floods you with dragonite. We're not going to care about any of that. I don't think at any point we'll care about any of it. Look at all these stacks. I don't even think I've done that many berry farms. Jesus Christ. And the bloodstone dust we'll get rid of. The loose seal. We can maybe move into the bank here. I mean, I kind of described this as cleaning the bank, but it's not really, is it? Those components and things we'll keep. All right. That's okay. We'll have it this way. All right. All right. So, let's go into fractals now and let's have a look at just how many spirit shards we can get from doing this. And if anyone's got another idea for how we can get these spirit shards that's not Fractal 40, let me know. Oh my god, I missed a donation, did I? Why are you guys still donating? You've got no good reason to. These streams are not that good. Hoi WP, do you listen to pods? I listen to quite a few, but my favourite's Radiolab or maybe Hello Internet. Visual would rip. If you do, have you got any recommendations? I haven't really been listening to any pods at the moment. One pod that I've been trying to get into but have not listened to enough is Peter Gould and Vince Gilligan and all the tech crew for Better Call Saul run a podcast called the Better Call Saul Insider Podcast. It's not really about the show as much as it is like the production of the show and interesting information about that. They did one back during the Breaking Bad days as well. That's probably the most that I've been on the periphery of podcasts lately. But I've been thinking of getting more into them at the moment because I've been doing a lot of walking lately, and I like the idea of listening to a podcast while I'm doing any of that. So maybe I'll get into some more. Hello Internet, I've heard be praised a great many times as well, by the way, and I know the people who run it from their other channels. Right, so here we go. Molten Boss. This is what we do. We'd need 43 AR. Our current level of AR is 25, so we would need a bit of a cheeky chippy little investment in a bit more AR for this, so we could get 2 infusions. If we got 2 plus 9s to put in there, that would put us at another 18 higher. That might be pretty good, right? Well, first, just before we do that, let's go in and see where the Spirit Shard source is. No, I haven't checked out Critical Role. Listen, guys, I get so many people recommending different things to me. I really don't have time to check out everything everyone says. I'm so sorry. They are 35 relics each. And how many relics do we get per run? Well, it's not him, is it? I guess it's the standard vendor. Maybe this guy? Maybe this is who we care about? Relics we can get for pristines. We don't care about any of that. Over here, don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care. Don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care about any of that. So it must be you. It must be Mr. Blue. Mr. Blue Sky. No, it's not you either. So what? It's you over here? I don't understand. Who gives us spirit shards? These vendors, man. Oh, it's Dessa's experiment journals. It's these here. Interesting. Okay. It is the blue guys. The first tab here. Double click to gain 1 spirit shard. What is UR Guild Wars 2 account name? I want to send you things for legendaries. I've got a present for you. Champion Ashley says. Oh, I don't have it on the overlays anymore. I'm so sorry about that. Hold on, let me change that back. So the account name is send mails to Issa.1865 64? No, 65, yeah. 1865. So down here in the bottom left below my cursor, you can see there that's what my account name is. That's what this one is. So this is what we'd be buying, right? And how many do we get per run? Does it tell us? Does it tell us what our reward is for each one? Just a regular Molten Boss. Should we try it? Guys, I'm EU. If you want to play with me, join up. Let's see. Let's do a single Molten Boss right here, right now. It doesn't need to be a perfect comp. Doesn't need to be, you know, super fast or anything. I just want to see what we get from this one. And we'll see how it goes. This should earn us money and nice other things as well. Wow, you guys are fast. We got some real mails there. Rachel M. Holmes. Rachel, thank you very much, Rachel. Little present from me. I love your videos and hopefully the finale is amazing. May the stars of the gods shine down on... Oh, that's cool. Yeah, all these interesting things to think about how the gods might be like stars, right? P.S. My name in chat is Champion Ashley. Well, thank you so much, Champion Ashley. That's awesome of you. You gave us 10 gold and 10 T6. Oh, sorry, 5 gold. Yeah, there we go. Thanks very much. That's really, really lovely of you. And here we got... Someone's just asking a question. Balthazar versus Cormyr. I thought I'd mentioned that in Divinity's Reach, Balthazar is opposed to Cormyr. Oh, you mean on the high bridges? I don't think that necessarily means anything. Very, very deep rabbit hole you're going down there. But maybe at some point. The most thing I think that's geographically interesting about where the Balthazar thing is that it kind of, if they did another exit to Divinity's Reach, similar to the previous one they did behind Lissa, it's like they could do a map there. Ragtorn just subbed. Hey WP, although I've moved on from Guild Wars 2, I still come here just to use my free Twitch sub for you on old time's sake. That's so awesome of you, dude. Thank you very much. That's really, really cool. Thanks very much. I really appreciate that. And hopefully with the next expansion, you'll be back to the game, eh? That's really cool. You just checked. You do not need to have max masteries to get a shard from a tome at level 80. Okay, good. Because that could have been a bit annoying there. Oh, wow. Check that out. 2 + 9s from TailEms for the 40 farm. Wow, thanks, dude. That's a reasonable amount of cash as well there. Thank you. All right, let's throw those in, shall we? Into our gun. But it's your gun. Here we go. Boom. So we're now at 43 AR. And they're suggesting we have 43. That's too perfect, isn't it? That's awesome. So we have exactly as much as we'd need. So we go. Let's... Oh, my God. All right, join on me, guys. Don't /invite /join, for God's sake. Otherwise, I'll just click and it will scroll through like that and we won't get anyone. So /join Baradin, right? Oh, my gosh. And we... Wow, what is going on? Guys, please, please, please. Flying Chicken PLC donated £5. Don't you tell me how I spend my money. Joke. I donate because I enjoy your streams and your YouTube videos, so I want to show you your support. Well, thanks, dude. I really appreciate that. I mean, it really means a lot to me. It really, really, really does. I'm totally blown away. You guys have become... I don't know what it is about the WP watchers. Lately, you guys have become really generous. And, you know, I don't feel like I deserve it for a second. There's probably a lot of other people out there who deserve a lot more. But thank you so much. Or deserve a lot less, if that makes sense. All right, here we go. So our comp is pretty shit, honestly. But let's see. Let's just go in there. I'm not going to waste food on this. Balthazar's comment about having his light stolen is Cormyr showing up and stealing credit for winning the Mistwar Kappa. Monkey Sloth, I think you've got it right, man. Could it be considered that Balthazar has killed Mengis and taken his aspects like Lissa and Cormyr did Abaddon? Oh, that's an interesting idea, right? And that's why he's deceitful and stuff now? I like it. That's a curious version of interpretation that I hadn't really thought of. The supply crate here before we move into our rotation. There we go. Oh, I don't even need to strafe. Not because I don't have the food, but literally because it doesn't exist in Guild Wars 2. Exit. Move out of the firestorm. Really, you want to bait those away, guys, the firestorms. He doesn't have anything meaningful to do in terms of break bar, does he? I can break it there, I guess, with the battering ram. Now, I'm not using the skill 2 here, even though it could technically be a part of the rotation. I've just noticed my traits are all messed up. My traits are the open world version right now, so I should change those. But I'm not doing it because my Naga is all broken and shit and terrible. Alright, here we go. So let's just quickly change our traits. So we want to go back to Pinpoint. We want to go back to Shrapnel. Oh, we still had Shrapnel on. Okay, that's fine. Shape Charge, that's fine. And then down here, the Takedown round. There we go. Oh, the rest should be okay. Yes, it is. Oh, those guys killed that stuff. Okay, good. Now, we don't have auto loot, so I have to get used to pressing F. No, the thing is that I think Power Energy gets a slightly worse rap than it deserves. So someone just said my rotation 1 1 1 1 1, and it's usually because people are idiots and they're not even looking. It's clearly not 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 because I'm spamming all 3 of these tool belt skills here, potentially even all 4 get very frequent continuous use. It's not 1 1 1 1 1. You use especially with Alacrity, you use Surprise Shot, which is one of your F buttons, like very frequently. So I don't know, and especially when you look at account for CCs and some of the raid fights. When you account for dropping the turrets, which is now a part of it. When you account for if you do go for the kit swap variant, it's a lot more than just 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Bit unfair, really. I'm not saying it's hard, because it's definitely not, but it gets a more unfair rap than it deserves. I'm saying the same thing I sent you a video yesterday. I don't think it's a coincidence we have Menzies Greatsword skin now. So you're suggesting Menzies died, Balthazar absorbed what he is, and... Oh, I should have jumped that, right? And I definitely shouldn't be stood in that AoE. Absorbed what he is, and now that's why he's all deceitful and he's learned there's no glory in war and stuff. But the thing is, it doesn't quite work because Cormyr, when Cormyr took Abaddon's power, she didn't become all fucked up and, you know, angry because as if she'd been tortured for years. She was still sound of mind. She just had his strength. That was kind of the whole point. So that's kind of the point, right? Like, you can take a god's magic but retain your own personality sort of thing. So I'm not quite sure whether you've got much of a leg to stand on that one. Basically, the point is, if Balthazar took Menzies' power, that's all he's taken, the power. He hasn't taken, you know, Menzies' personality attributes or beliefs about the world. Otherwise, we would have seen Cormyr do that with Abaddon and, you know, try and destroy Tyria like Abaddon was trying to do after, you know, feeling so affronted from having been imprisoned for so long. You know, Abaddon was the god of secrets. Cormyr was the god of truth, right? She didn't take that, so I think you might have misunderstood a little bit of what it means when a god takes another god. Unless I'm misunderstanding you right now, which was...
You see? I did that.
So we get 12 relics per kill. So it would be every 3 runs we get 1 spirit shard. So it would be, if we wanted 400, it would be over 1,000 runs, easily. Is this smart, or should we be doing mastery points? What do we think, guys? If anyone's got a PS and wants to join, that might be nice. If this guy wants to run Druid instead of just Core Ranger, that might be nice. 12 might be a little bit low. You guys think that the masteries... The gold doesn't matter. We already have over 20k. Masteries, then turret farm. How many masteries? We need a lot. It would basically mean we're doing season 2 streams. So we would need 3, 12. We'd need a lot, guys. I could spend on that and go for it and start training Noblesse Oblige. We finished Fractals. So it'd just be these. We basically go do Living World season 2. That's what we'd be doing. It won't let you if you're NA. This is EU only. Well, we got a chrono. We're not making... Well, it doesn't matter what legendary we're making. I think we're going to make the most expensive ones so we can buy the other ones off the TP. Masteries make better stream content. I actually think I agree with that as well. Maybe we can do a mix of a bit of both, guys. Maybe we can do a mix. Oh, look, we got an ascended ring there. That's funny. And we got a tome, but that's a daily, so doesn't quite count really. All right. Well, and here's the other thing, guys, as well. You get a lot of experience from this. So if we do the masteries first, then come to do this, we get experience, which gives us spirit shards, and we get the relics, which gives us spirit shards. So like, I think it's that you get like the double. We get to double up if we do the mastery points first. So let's do the mastery points. Let's do mastery points. Then once we've got everything unlocked, then we can come back to do the Fractal 40 farms. That's probably the best way to do it. EU servers have the favor of wooden potatoes. Favor of the gods on EU. Yeah. No, I do NA streams. It's just that the legendary hunt is an EU account. Maybe do dailies that give tomes and then go for masteries. Yeah, we could do that as well. Let's have a look here. So, writ of experience. No, we don't care. Writ. Isn't finishing... Oh, that's just 3 spirit shards every time we do our daily. Don't touch the shiny mini dungeon. Is in Caledon Forest. Diessa Plateau and activity. Hey, our daily's pretty easy today, so let's do our daily and then we'll do mastery points. So we'll be playing season 2 here, guys. Do I have it all unlocked on this account? I do, cool. I have everything unlocked on this account except Out of the Shadows. It's only 200 gems. I don't know what people people whine when they miss tons. That's funny. I've never even tried to unlock these. This is just random activity on this account. So yeah, so basically we need to get mastery points. So the goal here, guys, is every category we see here where there's these little orange dots, that's where we need to go. So fractals, we could do hollow hornpipe, dance with the aethers, defeat Mitrin's second in command, kill all the monsters in Solid Ocean. Let's do these. Let's do the fractal ones first. Let's get these mastery points first, then we'll go to Living World Season 2. But first, okay, we'll do daily, then we'll do the Fractals mastery points in a party so people can play on stream. Then we'll go to do Living World Season 2 mastery points. Fractal boxes give tomes. Oh, this is good as well. So we've loaded in right at the end of this, which is really nice. There's a lot of dead players here. Southside Survival's so cool. All they need is that, like, H1Z1 or public user. Player Unknown's Battlegrounds. They need to have that thing where the map is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. And that would do so much for this immediately. Because this is basically Battle Royale. It's ArenaNet doing it before it really started kicking off. It's kind of funny. If you're making the most expensive... Doing AC 1, 2, 3 every day would be good for Gifts of Ascalon.
Now the fun really begins.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that when we get to that. We already have the 2 great swords, so if you're thinking of that for Twilight, I think, don't you need tiers for Twilight? If that's what's on your mind, we've already got that. But Bifrost is a rare, actually, isn't it? Bifrost. So we got to do that. We could just do a straight up dungeon tour though, and then you can use the chest. A lot of people don't even think about that chest. So there you go, that's one part of our daily done. So we could see some Ara. There's a lot of stuff, man. Making legendaries. For as much as I say, oh, that shouldn't be the be all and end all of Guild Wars 2, when you do commit to making a legendary, it really takes you around the world, doesn't it? It's pretty cool. Are you doing daily PvP achievements using potions to get tomes? I don't think that that's the fastest way at all, really. We'll focus on getting masteries first, guys, and then we'll deal with this other stuff later. Alright, so that's that done. Now we're going to go do Crichton Forager. My go-to for Crichton Forager is at Beetleton. I always like going into that field near Beetleton and grabbing all those cabbages. Wait, what in the world was that game? What game? You wish Guild Wars 2 had 10v10 stuff? Guild Wars 2 does if you play well versus world. You can do 10v10s in your little GVG guild things. That's Guild Wars 2 in a nutshell, varying your activities rather than grinding on one. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what Guild Wars 2 is. Because the game's more fun in that world. In the world where they give you a variety of things to do, you know, it's more fun. Why does the Guild Wars not have any Guild Wars? Because it's kind of irrelevant, really. They may as well just rename this. So much unnecessary discussion comes from this game just because of its name. Like, if this game had just been called Tyria, right? No reason why that doesn't work as an MMO title. Rift, whatever, you know, like Tyria, it works as an MMO title.
Another land.
A lot more descriptive of everything else that's going on. Just Tyria, done. And you wouldn't have this just obnoxious, inane requests for stuff that really there's no need for. Constantly, just because of the title. Bolt is also Gift of Ascalon, apart from Sunrise and Twilight. Yeah, so Bolt, maybe we won't craft Bolt. Maybe we'll just buy Bolt straight up. So currently on the TP, we have, let's have a look here. Oh, that's not right. Can't I just go buy and then filter by price, right? Most expensive in the game is Eternity, obviously. Twilight, Bifrost. So we'll probably make the Bifrost, and then Bolt is immediately after. Huh, Meteorologicus is quite high as well. So we might make these. I was saying Kudzu for a long time, but that might be better to buy because we'd save more money. I mean, it's only in the order of about 100 gold or so, but they're all very close to one another. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe we should just do whatever one has the easiest dungeon or the easiest time for us. Hey everyone, soon there will be a giveaway for 10 free Ecto Lottery entries. If you've already entered, then you can get 10 more entries. Make sure to check your potatoes. So there you go, guys. More opportunities for the Ecto giveaway there. You can't wait for me to finish the Flame Seeker prophecies. Why that one specifically? I mean, when you say finish, a lot of these, make no mistake, we're just going to buy straight up off the TP. Yeah, GVG from GW1 was awesome, but there's nothing necessarily that needs to be high scale for that. Stronghold could have been a perfectly fine replacement for that. The devs just never supported it in the way that they should have. Stronghold was very close to GVG. Very, very, very close. Some differences and divergences that maybe weren't necessary, but it was pretty close. What is my opinion of the permanent unbound altering tools? I actually picked them up because I do a lot of gathering now. All the synthesizers in the guild hall, and my home instance has got a lot of stuff. And if you go in and you do all of that gathering every day, I figure why not get magic for it while I'm at it? It's, you know, easy ascended stuff. So I actually picked it up. I think it's fine. I don't really care. This is not a game where you have to bust out your credit card, earn the gold, and turn it into gems and buy it like that. If you don't feel like you're going to get return on investment because you don't gather enough, then don't do it. Done. It's such a fucking ridiculous thing to have discussions about. I honestly don't care. I think it's fine. Unless, are they time limited like the Watchwork pick was? But I've never really quite understood people that get really pissy about stuff like that. I just think that at that point, you know, maybe you need to take a step back and look at the fact it's a video game you're playing and relax. And I like the animations on them, by the way. I know that that's not the discussion you want to have, but I like the animations. I think they're good. I feel fine. I was happy to support the game with a bit of money. Basically, a couple of those donations from my birthday stream paid for me to have the Unbound Magic things. There you go. So don't touch the shinies in this little script layer over here. And then that's our daily done. That's 3 more spirit shards finished. Welcome, Nexix. Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you made it too, dude. It's really cool to see you. That's how you feel about Legendary Armor? I mean, the most controversial part of Legendary Armor is the part where you can rune swap. And that is such a big perk. And it's weird that nobody gives a shit about that. You know, ArenaNet couldn't have got away with that 10 years ago. They couldn't have. But now it's all people want. All the discussion is in all the wrong places. The discussions about the aesthetic and the discussions about... oh, I don't want to raid, but I want it anyway. That's where all the discussion is, not the actual important part. That you've now got basically players who are snowballing away from new accounts even further because they get incredible quality of life that other people don't have, right? That's the real discussion to have on Legendary Armor, in my opinion, but nobody wants to have that. I'm sure WP can accurately explain why Guild Wars 1 was named like that. Well, it was named like that because initially, when they broke off, here's something new that I learned that I didn't know until very recently. ArenaNet originally wasn't called ArenaNet. I think it was called Trinity or Triforge. Seriously. So they were Blizzard devs that broke off, and they were initially, they had the hearts in just PvP, and it was going to be a PvP game. And later on, and so that's why eventually when they named their company, it was ArenaNet. You know, when you think ArenaNet, you don't think PvE so much, do you, really? You think,
I'm always achieving greatness.
you think, you think something competitive, right? And you think something PvP based, and that was really their focus. So they were ArenaNet, and they were making Guild Wars. If you look at the very first early, like, alpha shitty trailer they did for Guild Wars 1, it was all about, you know, the guild versus guild combat. It was the competitive game. Then later they decided to put a PvE environment on it, and they got excited about that. But even then, the Prophecy stuff, most of that was just built to tutorialize different facets of the PvP stuff. And they had a very pure philosophy when it came to Guild Wars 1. Players would come into Guild Wars 1, they'd start in PvE and learn about the game and learn about the skills and be introduced to stuff. And the end game wasn't questing and raiding and all that shit and grinding. It was PvP. That's what the end game was, and they were happy and comfortable with that. And so that's what Guild Wars 1 was. And that's why it's called Guild Wars, and that's why they're ArenaNet. It's all because of the PvP focus. It just so happens that after this, those early devs then realized, hey, we got a bit of a weird thing here. Why are we called Guild Wars if we've got a big PvE focus now? And then, at a later date, they added a minor bit of lore that talked about the Guild Wars, which doesn't actually feature in any of the present content in any of the games, but is a facet of the world building. And is mentioned just a little bit in some of the quests in Guild Wars 1. And so, really, people who are sort of semi-informed about the game will say, oh, it's called Guild Wars because of the lore. It's not actually called Guild Wars because of the lore. It's because of their roots as PvP enthusiasts and competitive enthusiasts. That's what it's in its roots. The lore thing was always just an excuse. All right, anyway, and there you go. That's how I understand it. That's why we're called Guild Wars. Actually, Mike was one of the creators of Battle.net as well as the container file format that Guild Wars 1. Yeah, they were talking about that on a fairly recent stream. There's a, the file name, right? The type of file, whatever it is, you know, it's dot something, was named by Mike or something, right? Or something like that. And the Triforge is referenced in a number of places in this game. There's a pendant. Yeah, I don't know whether that's explicitly referencing their original company name, though, or just other areas we see that in gaming. But yeah, okay, guys. So our objective now is what we're going to do is we're going to go to Fractals of the Mist, and we're going to get all these mastery points, okay? So the first I'm going to get is Hollow Hornpipe, all right? So we're going to dance with the Aetherblade hologram dancers. There's 2 different ones to do, and we're going to do this in the Aetherblade fractal. So if you guys want to come along and join with me for this, you do not have to be good at the game. There's still this weird thing, and please go and spread this information, where people believe that fractals are somehow scary or intimidating or something. They're not. This isn't me because I've lost all perspective of how hard the game is. Early scale fractals are for newbies. They're for bad players. They're for people who don't know shit about the game. This is what's so magical and awesome about fractals. If you don't know what you're doing, if you're scared, it doesn't matter. We're doing early fractals, right? Early fractals are fine. Come along, have fun. The whole point of the system is to be welcoming and inclusive to you, and they only start getting slightly harder as you climb up, all right? I promise, okay? So, come along. I want a team. We're going to go do the Aetherblade fractal. Low scale. That's what we're doing. You remember years ago you got a hold of the specification for the file format? Really? That's kind of cool. What do I think about the Central Fissure of Woe becoming a replacement for Stone Mist? Yeah, what with the temple being... Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a weird idea. Potentially something, though. The people who join, by the way, have to be EU. NA people cannot play with us. There we go. Good job, EU people. And we're just going to go in, and we're going to dance with these guys. We're going to get mastery points. So we're getting mastery points, just to make this clear to everyone, we're getting mastery points to be able to learn new masteries, to spend all our experience on them, and once we've got all of the Corteria masteries, we will be able to earn spirit shards in Corteria areas for experience instead of masteries. And that's what we're going for. That's what we're trying to do. Do I have any tips for leveling up? Is completing maps worth it? If you want to level quickly, probably the best way to do it is to run around with boosters. So get fireworks off of the trading post, buy boosters from Laurel merchants, XP boosters, and run around the open world with like a friend or two, killing random enemies that haven't been killed for a long time, and you'll get huge amounts of experience. If you want to watch that in action, go back and watch my Zero to Hero streams. But honestly, take your time, smell the roses. I don't know what you're rushing for. Just play the game. If the game isn't keeping you engaged without the carrot on the stick of leveling up, then it probably won't at the end. Well, it might at the end, but still. Hey, thanks Pancakes Thief for the sub earlier, and thank you very much for the lovely comment. You said that thanks for the years of great content. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks everybody who followed as well, by the way. If you guys have just got here from YouTube, and you don't really know how Twitch works, if you click the big follow button that's somewhere around on the video player, what Twitch will do is it will notify you whenever I go live, so you don't actually have to keep an eye on my schedule or anything, and you can decide on future streams if you want to come and tune in on them. But yeah. Alright, so let's go on in. Oh, that supply crate was great. We interrupted his banner. I'm so happy with that. My Naga is so bad, I literally cannot activate that button anymore. See, like, look at how quickly those things melted. It's basically open world. I'll drop. Oh, no. We don't have more blinds. That big old bomb's probably a bad idea. I'm going to drop some supply crates there and cleanse for people. I really like the supply crate these days. Such good CC, minor damage, but also really great cleanse and stuff. It's awesome for people. Please tell me you agree that provisioners tokens are the worst thing about Heart of Thorns. I don't agree, sorry. I've had a lot of provisioners tokens so far. I think that the price for bloodbound weapons is a bad idea, but the notion of stimulating those areas of the economy, there's nothing wrong with that. The idea of getting people to play the game consistently over long periods of time instead of firing and forgetting over just a week of grinding is also a very good idea. The idea of feeding people to complete meta events in the Heart of Thorns maps and keep them populated is also incredibly important, even years after Heart of Thorns release. And provisioners tokens do all that stuff very well. I think the only reason you wouldn't like them is if you're very selfishly inclined and you're like, oh, it's taken me too long. They can be a bit frustrated, but I think overall they're very good for the game. And I'm not at all surprised the devs put them in there. That's my opinion on provisioners tokens. Bloodbound weapons are just too expensive, I think, for what they are. Definitely not the worst thing about Heart of Thorns. The worst thing about Heart of Thorns? That's an interesting question, though. What is the worst thing about Heart of Thorns?
Pain.
I don't know, maybe some of the fundamental design behind some of the elite specializations. Maybe the all the missed opportunities with masteries and learning languages and how little there was to do with lore and stuff. Masteries ended up pretty shit. Maybe that's but I don't know, is that the worst thing about Heart of Thorns or just my greatest disappointment with Heart of Thorns? It's kinda difficult to figure out. Alright, well I'm here. There we go, good. The story wasn't too good. The story was very high quality. It was just too short and didn't go into as many places as it was clearly supposed to, you know. Thanks for the resub there to Loken2083. I love you, BB, he says. I love you too. Thank you very much. Bought this game yesterday. I was wondering what the end game stuff is like. Gear grinding and raid. No, there's no gear grinding. No, Guild Wars has always stood for no gear grinding, and there's not any gear grinding. There's like, to get the top tier of gear does take you a while, and you'll be going through a lot of different areas of the world to do it. But once you've got it, you won't be power creeped out generally. You might be asked for different variations of stats and stuff, but they don't like add it, you know, tiers and tiers. They don't increase the level cap. They try to be as respectful of your time as possible. And it's one of the things that the game's always done very well with. The function gyro was the worst thing about Heart of Thorns. Oh, I missed the mastery. What am I doing? Shit. /GG. Can we all /GG, please? Please, /GG. I did, I missed it. It's my bad. I'm an idiot. I forgot what we were in here for. Maybe these players don't know how to /GG. That guy's got 26k, 10k. Alright, retry from checkpoint. Alright, yeah, okay. Whoops. We gotta dance at these guys. My bad. I just went into regular fractal running mode here. So here we go. We dance at this person. I think that counts, doesn't it? And the other one's upstairs, I think. And then we're done. You knew I was going to miss it? Well, come on. I'm having conversations about various stuff, and I'm playing the game, and I'm looking at chat. There we go. And so here, you guys can't see because of the overlay and because of chat, but I got something called Hollow Hornpipe, and we got a mastery point. Ding, 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 ding. Cool. All right. So let's move on. Let's finish the fractal. So those mastery points we will be spending on new skills that then once we've trained, we're done. We can start spending our experience on spirit shards and stuff. It is unfair. Legendary should only be skins. That's a very purist Guild Wars 1 opinion you have there, Anastasiel. Very, and I think your opinion there is kind of, as a Guild Wars 1 purist opinion, is not the majority anymore. There aren't that many people in this community who will agree with you. There are a huge number of people who you know, think that that's unacceptable or somehow a design flaw to have legendaries like that. You know, we were talking about Obsidian Armor on the channel yesterday, right? To really go back and look at Guild Wars 1, Guild Wars 1 didn't, you know, its equivalent of a legendary weapon was Obsidian Armor, right? And to really go back and look at that, Obsidian Armor not only didn't give you more quality of life, not only didn't give you more armor, not only didn't, you know, do any of that stuff, but even in terms of aesthetics and looking good, it didn't even look good. I mean, really, if you looked at like Obsidian Armor, there were a lot of other sets that were way cheaper, that were much spikier or, you know, more like, you know, more appealing. Like, they were very, very reserved skins, very, you know, drawn in skins, you know, and that's what, and people back then though, that was what Guild Wars was built on. That's what it was about, and people just sort of accepted that.
This is a sterile,
you know, it's funny to look at how far Guild Wars 2 has come in the opposite direction.
Very well.
And probably for the better. There's probably more people who enjoy the game now. They're tapping into a larger demographic, appealing to people like that. I love using big old bomb in fractals because it just not messes up all the stacks. Look at that beauty. Drop our turret here. I probably should have added grenade kit here because bombs, if I can break out of combat, it'd be really nice. Bombs aren't going to be too good when it comes to, yeah, this. Well, mind you, I got the rifle. The rifle won't be terrible. It'll be a bit poo. So, by the way, you can jump this if you're good enough. I'm not good enough, but you can jump it. I won't be good enough right now because I'm used to playing on NA, and with the different delay on EU, it's going to be almost. I mean, the personal battering ram, I might be able to do some cool stuff and keep him from hitting the shit. Oh, they changed the shield on this actually as well, didn't they, recently? Oh, and we are at a very low scale. I don't know what.
Nothing can bring me down.
We've got to keep moving around now.
Grid on a lightning rod.
I'm not going to blast that one. Keep moving. Oh, look, we went through the wall with our overcharged shot. That's funny. Oh, shit, we got to keep moving it.
Getting healthier.
And the last one. Oh, no, there we go. We're done. Cool. Beauty. So there's one done. You only really like Mesmer, Paragon, Obsidian? Yeah, Mesmer, Obsidian Armor was good. Because, you know, Mesmer already was very refined, very, you know, they were essentially just town clothes, what Mesmers were. I mained a male Mesmer in GW1, so just think about that for a second. Right, like, my opportunities as, like, a 14-year-old that wanted to be a big spiky badass guy were very, 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 very limited. You already got 3 Ectos in Guild Wars 1 over the duration of the stream. Oh, are you farming Underworld right now? Dude, that's pretty cool. I'd love to be able to do like a picture-in-picture style thing on my streams. I've always wanted this, both on Twitch and YouTube. I'd love to be able to have 2 separate video players going at once, embedded on the page. Like, so if you think about all these people that do face cams and stuff on YouTube on their Let's Plays, it would be cool to be able to do, you know, have the main video player showing the game and nothing but the game, and then have a separate video player playing in unison that is the face cam you can look at if you want. And you could do on Twitch, you could synchronize, like, GW1 footage coming in while people are playing GW2 and stuff. That would be so cool. Alright, okay. Remember when this one was hard, says Mayo? Well, we're playing the lowest scale. It still can be a challenge at the highest. The whole point of fractals is that they have scalable difficulty. It's a bit of a weird thing to say, honestly. Alright, okay, so next, though, let's check it out. So we go General. And then we go Fractals of the Mists. Horric's Horror. Defeat Mitrin's second in command. So we have to kill Horric here, so that's fine. So let's do, not Aether Blade, Mitrin. Where's the lowest Mitrin? 18? And she's the daily today as well. So let's do that. Let's do the lowest Mitrin. We've got to kill Horric. Hopefully we don't forget to do that. What do you think about higher fractals where you, for example, continue fighting this Inquest or Raving Asura? Oh, that would be a cool thing. If they ever revamped the Aether Blade one, I think that would be a cool little extra thing to do, definitely. I think more interesting things with scaling is definitely where fractals thrive. In terms of difficulty, I think that T4... I think fractals get hard too slowly right now, so they're boring to climb because you can't really quite feel the difference. I think fractals should get harder a bit quicker. Essentially, what is currently T4 should be T3, and T4 should be more of a challenge, in my opinion. And I think that that would get people ready for raids a lot better, and I think that would make it more entertaining to climb. I think people would learn a lot more in Fractals if the game was like that as well. And if you feel that the current T4 is the sweet spot for you in difficulty, then fine, just continue doing that. It's just called T3 now. You know, you've not taken anything away from people
Getting healthier.
by doing that. All right, so this is a cool boss fight if people don't know how this works. This guy, essentially, you never have any reason to kill except for this one achievement. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to prepare with med packs here.
My noggin for screwing this up.
What now, Captain?
T4 can be a struggle, definitely, but I think it could be a lot better. And the thing is, T4 is only ever a struggle when you have a shit comp.
Got it.
That's really what it comes down to. And I think that Fractals should teach people and should enforce on people, hey, look, your party composition matters in this game because it matters at raids. And if we view Fractals as being a thing purely about getting people ready for raids, then, you know, Fractals should be doing that, right? T4 is a doddle when you have the right comp. When you have like a support Tempest and a Chrono, basically, that's all you need. And you're done, right? Like, and just 3 DPS. They're an absolute doddle. I think when there are more Fractals in the game, it will go a lot better. Yeah, we could do with some more. That's definitely true. Why didn't that cleanse? I did pop the turret. Anyway, there you go. Mastery point earned. All right, so now we gotta drag my Trin into this. I don't know whether these players know how to do this, so this is okay. Just gonna grab these med packs to heal up as best I can. I'm also gonna detonate this rifle turret in my water field to heal up. Look at these pro NG strats here, guys. There you go. So she's breaking her shield now. There you go. Break her break bar. Oh, I didn't need to do both. Someone else contributed. Alright, and now we're at phase. Is Chrono just the be-all and end-all of tanks then? Not the be-all and end-all. And it depends on your format, but it's pretty close. For raids especially, it's pretty close, honestly. Which is very unfortunate. We'll see what how they can shake up the game on the next expansion. Hopefully we'll see some fundamental shifts in how tanking works. Because it just makes sense, right? So basically, like, you're kind of taking Chronos anyway, like, and it's like, okay, we got kind of this dead DPS slot. So why not combine it into the tank at the same time? Because it's just the most efficient thing to do, and that's why you see, right? So, like, until there's a very logical reason to not do that, you'll see people continue to do that. So somebody did just trigger the overlay there. Hey WP, keep up the good work. Love watching your streams. Thank you very much. Thank you and welcome. Thanks for the sub there, dude. All right, so my Trin's back. Don't need to detonate that turret. We're already at 100%. So waiting for Horik to... we don't want to stand next to Horik because otherwise he'll do that animation there. So this should be light... No, that's not lightning. Here we go. Lightning. A bit annoying here. I don't think people really know what they're doing here. This should be lightning on this one. Oh, never mind. And we got obstructed anyway. This is lightning here. Come over here, guys. Pull my Trin in. Doing it. I think I was literally the only person in position on that one.
Getting healthier.
Fire. Oh man, are you joking? Come on, man. Why are you guys still all the way out here? I got myself killed by walking into that. I don't know whether these players know how my Trin works. Hold on, move, this way. There you go, she's losing some stacks at least. She lost a couple. Yeah, my Trin will teleport to the furthest player away unless they are using projectile mitigation. So, there we go. That worked. Because she got obstructed with her thing. There you go. Now she's lost enough stacks here for us to damage her. We're at a low scale, so she loses lots of stacks very, very, very fast. There you go. So that's that phase done. As the Necro, ask the Necro to put a flesh worm on top of Horik. It will block the fire bombs, but not the electric ones. That's a cool little strategy. I've never heard of that. That's very interesting. That is cool. And I suppose because of the whole minion thing that they did when Heart of Thorns came out, it doesn't really, the worm won't die either, right? That's cool. I like that. Very, very interesting. What? How did I obstruct those? That's bullshit. I heard Mitrin is pronounced Migus. Oh god. Mingus. That's how we say it, right? Mingus? Mingus? That's his name? Talk about Mingus, guys. Oh, good. Fucking beautiful start there. Except the person got her TP'd out. We can break her bar as well to hold her in like that, right? She's actually lost enough stacks for us to just push her into the next phase here, which is great. Good. That's another one that... Oh, no, never mind. I thought that was going to be... So we can cleanse all these bleeds as well with the new F5. That's so cool, right, guys? I love that F5 so much. So badass. Really awesome. I don't have the singularity still. Did I go down at some point? I must have, right? Don't forget to do the achievement. We already did. We killed Horik at the start. Or was there another achievement here? There's not 2 mastery points here, are there? I would look, but we're in the bullet hell phase. I'll look. Oh, I can't really look either, because otherwise I'm going to draw Mitrin's TPs in weird ways. There's not another thing to do, is there? I don't see why it'd ever be Mingus. We're interior, but not Scotland. Well, I don't know, but we've now had an actual dev tweet in favour of the Mingus idea. So, look. Here's what I think. At this point, here's what I think. I think we should wait for it to appear in game, the voice acted. I think that's what we should wait for. Like, honestly, let's insta break her bar here. At 100, if you do this at this point, you can stop her from spawning the last stuff. Pro tip there from your friendly neighborhood with potatoes. There we go. This should be blue. That guy's going to bait her away, though, and it's going to make me very angry. There we go. Good job. Beauty, 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 beauty. I like it a lot. I like it. She's got no stacks left. So let's break a bar. This is still your favourite Fractal boss? Oh, I actually really can't stand this Fractal. I really don't like this boss. I mean, it's okay, and it does some interesting things, but it's not that great. To me, anyway. I'm not a massive fan of it. Is there something to do on the airship for an achievement, maybe? We've got to fire the cannon, right, or something?
I'm itching to blow that escaping airship out of the sky.
Interact.
Any ideas how to do that?
Well, I tried. And then there's the tome thing. I don't think there's anything else, right? Let's have a look here. So, again, back to Fractals. Fractals the Mists. Urban, Molten, take a bow. Alright, cool. So the next one we'll do is Open Grave. Your party killed all of the monsters in the Solid Ocean Fractal inside the Fractals of the Mist. So we're going to go to Cantha, guys. We're going to go to the Jade Sea. Very cool. Mingus sounds awful, though. Mingus versus Balthazar. I suppose the other thing to do, if I was at ArenaNet and I was having to make this decision because we were going to have someone say it out loud, I think the thing I would do is try and nail down the original world builder who invented the idea of Mingus and ask him what he had in mind with the pronunciation and then settle on that. Because, I mean, if anyone has authority, it's got to be that guy or girl, right? Alright, Solid Ocean. This is the earliest Solid Ocean, right? There's not one beyond this. I love the order here as well. This is such a cool order for newbies to come into Fractals. You get such a good... This would be so cool to go through. Like, this would be constantly surprising and interesting, right? To get all the way up to here. It's unfortunate, like, Volcanic will have doubled up and Snowblind doubled up. But, like, you're getting just enough new ones. It's cool. The more Fractals, the better. It's so true. Have I ever thought of branching out in other MMOs like FF14, which is getting an expansion this June? You wouldn't mind seeing me play that for a while? I have sort of vaguely. I did some BDO stuff. I think I could be pretty good as a general MMO YouTuber. I really do, but I feel kind of weird doing stuff when it's. I don't know, it's a bit stupid of me, but I don't feel confident talking about something unless I really know it, or feel like I really know it, right? Do you get what I mean? And so that kind of stops me a lot of times with any kind of variety gaming stuff, because I just feel like, I don't know, I don't have the confidence to be entertaining unless I'm also being smart. Does that make sense? Because I don't think I'm a funny guy. I don't think I'm like a very... Like, people will say, oh, you're always enthusiastic and exciting and stuff, and that's all that matters. I just sort of don't buy it a lot myself. Do we have to kill all the crabs? So anyway, that lack of confidence leads me to sort of only covering things when I really know it quite intimately. And that kind of limits me a lot, I guess. I think a lot you'd love covering 14 story and such. There's a lot of nice content. Yeah, people have said to me before that they wish FF14 had its own Wooden Potatoes, that there is no good, you know, equivalent of me for FF14. I don't mean to be offensive to anyone who's in content creation in that arena, but they say, you know, like, that game desperately needs a WP, that they want one really badly. And so I actually get asked quite a lot, will you cover FF14? Yeah, we need to kill everything, including all the crabs, right? Yeah, so oh, well, I missed one over there. Luckily we're on NG, so we can comfortably do that. If it wasn't changed at some point. Alright, well, I think that's all of the crabs done. I don't see any more. This is like GW1 vanquishing. I like this. This is cool. You don't remember killing crabs? I think I remember killing crabs. But I did this when this first came out, and the achievement didn't have... It wasn't for a mastery point, it was just the achievement. I definitely remember killing crabs. Everyone else has charged along and killed all the stuff that's had all the loot. Oh, they're stealing all my loot, guys. Closest thing to WP was Mr. Happy when I looked for videos for 14, and that isn't a compliment. Oh, isn't it? What's wrong? He sounds cool. Is he unhappy? Mr. Happy. That's cool. I think that's a better YouTube name than Wooden Potatoes. I'd trade with that guy. Just in terms of purely the name of a channel. Mr. Happy sounds way better. I really don't like sort of my very cliche kind of... It's like both me and Teapot did it. We both have like these awful names. No offense to Teapot. I say that more to myself than him. Obviously, we're all entitled to say whatever. But there's just something about that kind of name that just... I don't know. I talked about it on a recent stream. I feel like it really kind of dates me and puts me in a weird category. Wooden Potatoes. What does that mean? It's like attempting to be funny, but it's not really. I mean, it means something now because you guys associate it with, you know, to look at it on a surface level. You know, if you were going to recommend me to your aunt or uncle or something and say, oh yeah, I watch Wooden, or, you know, just a mate at school or something, I watch Wooden Potatoes, they're going to put, you're going to look a bit weird because it's not a very approachable kind of name. I don't think anyway. But being like, yeah, I watch this guy called Mr. Happy on YouTube, I can imagine saying that quite comfortably to people.
Fury is mine.
Maybe I am overthinking it, and I think there is something in that. Like, at the end of the day, a name is just a name, right? There we go. Mastery point earned. Open grave complete. This is good. I like this. This is fun streaming. I like this. This is a cool little, you know, project for us. What do you guys think? You both sound very British. Well, Mr. Happy, wasn't that the name of, like, wasn't that the name of a like, failure of a sitcom that, who's the actor that portrayed Chandler in Friends? Matthew Perry, is it? Wasn't there a thing called that? Wasn't that called Mr. Happy or Mr. Sunshine or something like that? I gotta love these random dodges I'm executing here. With a name like PewDiePie, he will never be successful. Yeah, but his name matches the audience he went for. Juvenile, adolescent, you know, but biggest market that's out there, basically just immature, drooling little kids that want to have a laugh on YouTube, right? Which is the main market, right? So giving himself a name, that's appropriate, right? My name isn't appropriate for what I do. I do fucking boring bullshit stuff, really. I get way too serious about video games, so I need a name that represents that. What's wrong with telling people you watch Wooden? No, I'm just saying. No, look, we're going way too deep down the rabbit hole now. It's not that important as you guys think. too good for kids. I'll be perfectly honest. I'm incredibly proud of the fact my demographic is like the fat end of the bell curve of the people who watch me are over 20. Like, I'm like the 22 to 35 range. That's the most people that watch me is like 90% dudes in that age range. And I'm proud of that. I like that. I feel like if I was going to go to a pub and have a beer with someone, it would be someone in that age range. Not, you know, pandering to 13-year-olds and stuff, right? You know, and I'm proud of that. I'm not even ashamed to say that. I like that that's the kind of person I've attracted. Let me tell you guys, I'm boring, and if you enjoy what I do, you're probably boring too. But it's okay, because we can be boring together. I'm actually 15. Oh, and that's not to say that there aren't, you know, very mature and very respectable and nice and cool 15-year-olds and whatever. Get it. Ah, you're 18, suck it, WP. Well, you still at 18, you're pretty much in my demo. You're going to be 32 in 2 hours, Tickwick. Congratulations, dude. In 2 hours. So, what, are you in Germany at the moment? Or that time zone, that area? 19, no date with WP for me? Look, I feel every ounce as mature and with the same sensibilities and likes and dislikes at my current age than I did when I was 18. I feel exactly the same mentally as when I was 18, as even when I was 17. 16, maybe I was a little bit less mature, shall we say, or whatever. Sorry, I'm really slowing us down because I'm not grabbing these crystals. It's my bad. And so I've got no hang-ups with going to a bar with an 18-year-old. But that sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? As someone who never played the original Guild Wars 1, is the Jade Sea a sea of jade, or how does this work? Yeah, it was a regular ocean or lake or inland sea that turned to jade, and yeah, it was, you know, it's pretty much what you're looking at here. It was beautiful as well. GW1 had a really nice, like, reflection or lighting, like, in the engine, like, mechanic. Like, it's really stunning, some of the areas. Still, to this day, like, one of the things that really gobsmacked me about GW1. GW1, by the way, was kind of for a long time, it had the reputation. You think of Guild Wars 2, and you don't really think, oh, you know, the height of MMO graphics anymore, right? Like, it's not something that the franchise is really regarded as having as one of its priority assets, right? Like, oh, this has got the best graphics, right? Because it just doesn't. They went with a painterly, artistic look, something that would test the time, you know, go through many years. But during the GW1 days, that was one of the big things about this franchise. You know, it was the pretty MMO. It was like good graphics MMO. It's true. And one of the big things, the really astounding moments for its time, was the Jade Sea. If you could play, if your card was good enough to have like reflections on max, and you went to certain areas of the Jade Sea, it was unbelievable. It was beautiful. It was really, really, really cool. Much better than what you're looking at here on this stream. This Jade Sea, this looks nowhere near as good. It's not as reflective enough. It's not as light and pretty and happy enough. Why did I see the animation hit me there? So seriously, it's very pretty. Even to this day, it stands up. The Jade Sea in GW1. Ooh, WP getting smacked by tentacles. Very exciting. Getting behind us there. Can I kill it without dropping this crystal? Pure tool belt, baby. Here we go. Oh, we had the... I've got to remember that supply crate drops a smoke field. Yeah, totally soloed him there, guys. Totally. Goats my goats. Good blast there as well. Can personal battering ram do anything here? There are some CCs that will stun these guys and they'll go into like their T-pose and they look really weird. Would I be up to see a Guild Wars 3 some years in the future? Oh my god, the Guild Wars 3 questions. Do you know what? Actually, last night, I was doing other stuff, so I didn't in the end. But I was genuinely interested in doing a thought experiment video for YouTube on the prospect of a Guild Wars 3 last night. Because it's an interesting topic, and you guys it's like a meme to ask me about fucking Guild Wars 3 at this point in Twitch chat. And it's an interesting topic. I kind of, you know, there's a lot of fun things to go into. But now is not the time. There's too much other stuff to talk about. Living World Season 3 and rolling into Cogs of War. My aunt and I played the game together since 2007. She's 58. Oh, that's awesome. Is she any good? How many insights does she have? Because if she doesn't have enough, she's not allowed to join my guild. Do you know what I'd love? You know how on Guild Wars Efficiency, you can check like how many insights someone's got or how much money someone's earned or whatever, but you can track it, you can graph it based on their total play time, right? And you can see, okay, well, you know, I'm for people who have as many hours as me, I'm actually a pretty poor guy. But, also, sorry, globally, I'm pretty poor. But compared to people with this many hours, I'm actually really good, right? You can look at stuff like that. Like, this account has got barely any hours of playtime. Like, let's look this up, right? This account has, let's have a look here, right? /age. So, this account has 309 hours, and yet its worth is about 40 grand, right? So if we go to, so on Guild Wars efficiency, what we can do, very excitingly, is we can compare ourselves to other accounts of this age range, and it might just so happen that we are the best. Do you get what I mean? We might be at the top of the leaderboard for this age versus this amount of money. We're probably not, because credit card farmers and blah blah blah. But so let's check here. So let's look at this account. Let's crawl the leaderboards. And how do we compare ourselves purely to people in our age range? Overview statistics. Is it statistics? So this account is already higher than 126,000 other accounts. We are rank 20,000. Out of everyone that plays Guild Wars 2, we are the 20,000th most wealthy account. And you will become that because you're going to win all of that if you win this giveaway. How crazy is that to think about? So, select a statistic. Holy shit, there's a lot you can look at. So, statistics by playtime. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to look. What age range are we in? We're at 309 hours. So the most someone has earned at this playtime, oh my god, is 216,000 gold. Wow. But the mean is just 2,000 gold, so we're well up there. Anyway, look, my point is, one of the things that I thought would be kind of cool is, wouldn't it be interesting? Wouldn't it be interesting if we could see the age of the player, right? So you talk about your 50-whatever-year-old aunt. Let's see who is the best 50-year-old that plays Guild Wars 2. Do you get what I mean? I think that'd be cool. Alright, anyway. That was a huge anecdote for a very boring payoff. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, here we go. So, fractals. Fractals of the Mist. Next one is Out of Cluck. While inside the urban battleground fractal, your team will kill all of the chickens inside the city. And this is scale 1, so this is the easiest fractal in the game, theoretically. Has 25,000 gold, still only... No, that's not 25,000, that's 40,000 gold. We have 25k liquid, or, you know, a little bit less liquid, but the total value of all the pre's and shit, we're up to 40k, and it's 40k is the 20,000th highest. We're all boring here. Guild Wars efficiency is really neat. I didn't think I have enough money to get a legendary until I saw how much stuff my bank was worth. Yeah, that happens to a lot of players. Efficiency is very cool. It's probably the greatest tool to have ever existed in the Guild Wars community. Maybe you can make the argument that Dolphy has been more influential and interesting and powerful as a thing in Guild Wars. But not everything that came from Dolphy is necessarily positive. I think that the culture that was built around Dolphy and what Dolphy enables people to do at patches actually takes a lot of enjoyment away. Like, there's a lot of achievements that are very fun to work out for yourself, but people will be lazy and they'll go to Dolphy. And so, like, Dolphy in some ways has detracted from the experience of Guild Wars 2, I think. I think Guild Wars 2 efficiency, though, has done nothing but add to what you can get out of this game and how you can think about this game and how you can enjoy this game. It has done nothing but add. It hasn't detracted on any level. And it's incredible. It's very, very, very cool. Very powerful thing. I think the Guild Wars efficiency is my favorite, like, thing on the periphery. Taco's pretty cool as well with some of the stuff that it's done and some of the stuff it's sought to do in the past. So, yeah. And, like, Shaman's been a big thing, and the data mining side of this community has been a big thing and has done a lot for speculation and discussion and fueled, you know, Guild Wars 2. But also, like Dolphy, I think there can be arguments made that it's not all positive. So, again, like, as great as everything that's been born out of what Shaman's done and so on, I think, actually, a lot of the value that Shaman's offered this community come from his website and the kind of things he hosts on his blog and stuff like the, you know, the comparisons of different creatures and historical looks at stuff, and the historical guide to Tyria, the map project he's done. I think all of that's been really, really cool. Maybe not that influential in the grand scheme. Not everyone gives a massive shit about that stuff, but that's all been cool. Hey, thanks Puddin Tot. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for the Twitch Prime sub. You're awesome, dude. Love the YouTube comment they say and love the lore. Thank you very much. I hope to give you much more for many years to come. That's awesome. Thank you very, very, very much. Is there a guide for X yet? No, I should go do some of it without the guide while I wait. Well, some people will just refuse to do it until there's a guide, and I think that's always such a shame. What happened to the video gaming where you didn't have your handheld through all of it? There's some real joy you can get out of a lot of that. I don't know, man. It's weird, and it's a kind of a thing that I wrestle with when new Wings of Raids come out as well, right? Like, you get a huge number of people who don't give a fuck about learning for themselves. They don't care about the magic of figuring out mechanics and, you know, the puzzle. That's essentially what a Raid Wing is a puzzle, right? It's a test of your understanding of Guild Wars 2 and what they're asking of the mechanics and stuff. Figure it out. It's a puzzle, and it's so exciting. It's so rewarding to figure out for yourself. But a huge chunk of people don't give a fuck about that. They couldn't care less. All they want is to kill the boss. Like, whether it's an authentic kill or not, shall we say. Authentic's a bit of a weird word, but you get what I mean, right? Like, they don't care. They just want the kill. And so it's always a struggle for me, because I get no real enjoyment out of it unless I get to solve the puzzle, right? It's like handing someone a Rubik's Cube, but they will refuse to do it unless they can get the guide online. It's just weird. It's just odd. But there's a real push-pull, and it's a thing you kind of have to struggle with. I'm not saying there aren't like-minded people to me, because there are a lot of people like-minded to me. But there's something about MMOs. People just, they don't care about the journey. And it's sad. I think it's sad. Sorry about the swearing again, guys. If you've just come from YouTube, I tend to swear a little bit more in casual conversation, which is what I'd say. I'd love to figure things out, but 9 other people I run with don't, so I have to step in line. Yeah, exactly, and that's the point, right? And when a new wing comes out. It's so sad. It's sad to me that I have to ask permission of a raid group that I might be running with at the time. Hey, can we figure it out without looking at everyone's streams? Can we do it on our own? Can we not look on the streams, please? Really like Rhys Osby. Yeah, we never quite got to the bottom of why she quit. Or left ArenaNet, right? We never quite got to the bottom of that. She's been there for many years. Well, I can't get any pleasure out of trying to solve a Rubik's Cube. See, I'm so tempted to come back to you there and say, well, why raid then? If you don't get any pleasure out of what it's there for, why raid? But it's for the reward, right? That's why you do it. You're in an MMO. It's odd. It's odd. Gaming and psychology, it's odd. I'm trying to not sound too judgmental. WP, do you think we'll get a new Raid Wing with the last Living World episode? No, I think that'll be too soon. I think what might be nice is we get the next Living World episode and a new Fractal. And then I'm expecting a 5 to 6 month period for the expansion to come out, where we're in expansion hype mode. And in that window, it might be nice to have a raid release. That would be pretty cool. I'd like that. I think that would be pretty reasonable. But yeah, I think the next thing on the horizon would probably be a new Fractal, or at least a satisfactory Fractal revamp, right? And we know that the Fractal team's got a lot in the wings. They had a lot in the wings even when the Nightmare thing came out, so I'm kind of excited to see what they're doing, because they seem to have been very cautious and careful with this next release. That it seems so nearly ready, but now they've spent so long. WP, as a musician, I wonder if you ever played or wanted to play an instrument? Yeah, I kind of did that thing when I was a teenager. I was like, oh, I should learn the guitar. But I never quite got enough enjoyment out of it to take it very far. I never really learned chords. I never really... So I had an acoustic guitar. I could play little tunes, essentially, on it. Little ditties. Little, you know, plucking single strings. The main instrument that I really regret not being able to play that I think would be really awesome. I'd love to be able to look in the mirror in the morning and characterize myself as having this skill. I think it would be so cool. I think that there's something really beautiful about people who can play the piano. I think playing the piano is a really, really, really cool thing. I think I love listening to piano covers of various songs. I'd love to have been able to put in the time to properly play the piano. I think that's a great, great, great instrument. So yeah, piano, if not guitar. And when I was a little kid, I played a little bit of the recorder. That's about it, really. Piano or violin. I don't really feel the same about violin as I do about piano. Inventory is full. Uh-oh. Man, getting those small bags of spirit shards, I'm suddenly excited about now. I'm like, oh yes, spirit shards, please. Please, please, please. Doing dailies seems to be the way forward then, actually. Alright, so before we clear this, let's try and get all the chickens, shall we? I'm not quite sure. This burning oil can actually hit us up here. It's like really weird. We've got to be careful. I think there's a couple of chickens like in and around over there, isn't there? Do we have to drop down here? Remember, we're here not to finish the fractal. We're here to kill all the chickens. Oh, there we go. Out of cluck. Someone found the last one. Good. Awesome. Good job, guys. All right, so how many mastery points is that we've now got? We've got 4. And we need 5 to buy Noblesse Oblige. And we need 6 to buy Historian of the Armaments. So we can get that very soon. All right. So let's clear this stuff out, shall we? I'm going to run more... Shit. Got attacked right as I was swapping it. Hey, WP, do you think the story behind the fall of Ascalon is one of the most tragic stories in Guild Wars? Yeah, I do. I really do. I think it's one of the coolest ones. I think that Ascalon lore in general is really awesome. But, like, I think if you were to do some kind of, like, proper story look, you know, if you were to write and if you were to embellish on the cold, hard facts they've got of the very end of Ascalon, the stuff with the faux fire, I think there's a really beautiful story there when you look at, like, if you take essentially Adalburn as your main character. The story doesn't have to be from Adalburn's perspective, but the story of Adalburn's life and how tragic it was, and, like... Again, I've talked... It's kind of funny you say this. I've talked a lot about Better Call Saul recently, right? And I think in terms of, like, delivering characters and showing, like, sibling rivalries and how complicated and just, like, angry and warped relationships between people can become, that show's amazing, right? And I think that if you were such a good writer, you were able to deliver that kind of experience, but showing that the breakdown of father and son instead of brothers, which isn't Better Call Saul. If you saw brother and son, right? If you saw the deterioration of Rurik versus his father to the point where a father exiles his own son, right? And then the son dies after being exiled because you did that to him. Because, like, and watching the breaking of this man, watching Auldan completely crumble, seeing everything fall away in front of him, and the Char gaining these victories against him, to the point where he's at this tower at wit's end, and he's got so much hatred in him now. There's so much, like, that's torn up about this human being that he would rather see kill a ton of his own men just to give one last final fuck you to the Char, you know, tormented by what happened to what he did to his son and how he was as a king, right? And his fall from grace from being this great hero that everyone adored and looked up to where he is by the time he triggers the faux fire. That's an incredible story. I think that's a really tragic story and an amazing story. And I think if that was told in the right way, it's one of the greatest stories that this franchise has. Yeah, the Fall of Ascalon is fucking cool. And you can kind of look at the Fall of Aura as well, right? And Vizier Kilbron reading the Lost Scrolls. But that kind of, that's not... Vizier Kilbron doing that, you know, he's been tempted away by evil magics and stuff, and it's kind of this very high fantasy kind of typical story where you can just say, like, he was corrupted by magic. It's not really dealing with the human psyche. It's not really dealing with, you know, what can properly break us down, losing the things that we love, right? Like, Vizier Kilbron's one's also very interesting, and from, like, a fantasy perspective is in a lot of ways more epic, more grand. The sinking of an entire continent beneath the ocean, you know, and the creation of a lich out of it and all this stuff, like, that's all very, you know, it's broader scope. But I think when you're really dealing with, like, the emotion of the situation, like, that whole thing with Ascalon is amazing, and there are heroes both sides as well. But I think it's incredible. And, you know, it starts in incredible places as well, with the death of Althea, to look at how tragic Rurik's story was. Like, all of that stuff's, like, brutal. It's enjoyable to me in the way that so many of the Game of Thrones sort of stories and tone and stuff is, right? Like Game of Thrones is essentially no one gets what they deserve, right? I think is a good way of describing it. You know, Rurik didn't get what he deserved. Althea didn't get what he deserved. Adalbert, to an extent, didn't get what he deserved. And it all kind of gets triggered from the start of this one character, Baradin, who decides he's not going to be king, even though... Yeah, I think it's so cool, right? It's just such a great story. Ascalon lore is unquestionably some of my favorite lore in the entire franchise. It's so awesome. And then, you know, you get this high fantasy stuff for the setting, at least, later on, when you're looking at... when you look at, like, the brand then comes and scars it. It's great. It's great. Ascalon is fucking awesome. What Guild Wars 2 mystery do you want answered the most? Do I want answered the most? That's a good question, because there's a lot of big mysteries that I'm not sure I do want answers to. I did nothing for any of those break bars there, really. Maybe Baltec. I'd love to see a reference. I think I would jizz. If they did some reference to Baltec, I think I would just collapse on the floor with a wet patch in my trousers. That would be amazing, right? Like, oh my god. Having Baltec in there. I mean, Saul was probably it. Saul was probably the answer, and they fucking did it with the Bastion of the Penitent. So, I don't know. I'm a pretty content, pretty happy guy right now, you know. Chickens. We already did chickens, guys. We already did chickens. What are you talking about? You saw me collect the mastery point. Hey WP, you started playing Guild Wars 1, you started as a ritualist in the factions campaign, but you die like every 10 seconds in a fight. Any tips? Probably don't start with factions. I think factions is pretty tough to start. And if that's happening to you on Ritualist, like, Assassin is even worse. You're a squishy frontliner in an expansion where they introduce tons of enemies that explode when they die. Like, they were really unfair in factions, honestly. I found factions very hard when I first started it. I would recommend doing as many Shinji Monastery side quests as you possibly can. But if you're stuck around the Zendaijan areas, then I empathize with that a lot, because I was in that exact situation. I don't know, maybe go back to Prophecies and play there. Prophecies has got a much better learning curve, in my opinion. Alright, so we got that. Now let's go back to Fractals. Fractals of the Mists. There's 2 more to get. So we've got Shockwave Skipper. Defeat the leaders of the Molten Alliance without being hit by a shockwave. Okay. So this is going to be a mortar thing with me. We're going to essentially do Fractal 40, but we're going to do it at the earliest level we can, which is Molten Boss here. Funnily enough, this was the last one I needed to get in Fractals, I think. Hey WP. Oh, sorry, I already read that. Was Saul a mystery? Yes, Saul was a mystery. Definitely it was a mystery. Guild Wars 1 mystery. He got carried away, taken... Oh, I'll tell you another really good answer. Avinia. What happened to Avinia is another big one. I think that actually deserves an answer. Baltec's one of those weird ones that, like, I don't think we should ever get anything actually concrete. I think the devs are making a mistake if they try to actually fully 100% explain what was going on with Baltec. I mean, it would be an interesting challenge to them, but they don't have to, right? Baltec should just pop up a little bit like...
Nothing can bring me down.
I don't know. You get this a lot in different franchises. There's like a mystery that pops it up again and again and again, and they never quite explain it. I think that that's what Baltec should be. Do I have aggro on that? No, he does. I think that that's what Baltec should be. And he doesn't have to be anything more. But Avinia, having a real answer to Avinia would be very nice. And that would be a cool part of Abaddon's story as well. Oh, and there's all this racism and hatred and stuff. The key to doing the Abaddon story properly is you have to find what's good about Abaddon. You have to find what makes us relate to him. And I think the way you accomplish that is by starting to tell your story, your novel, your machinima, your whatever the fuck, I don't know, right? Your in-game cutscenes. You start it by showing off him as a boy and him defending Ascalon and him saving in the Guild Wars, and you show the roots of his racism, you show the roots of his hatred towards the Crichtons and his, you know, reticence towards the Orions and so forth, and you show where that comes from, and you show how he was built up. It's kind of, you know, this is why one of my favorite stories as well is Chiriosa. I think the story of Chiriosa is fucking incredible too. It's awesome. WP, what would your reaction be if ArenaNet would announce a new festival about the ending of the Ascalon War with lots of lore bits? A festival? And turn back in time instances? Well, I'd be excited to see it. I think it's kind of a cool idea, sure. I mean, if there was going to be a Guild Wars 3, I would probably say I want it to be set 20 to 30 years before Guild Wars 1 and set in Ascalon. And, like, the game world can be big, but it would essentially just be in Ascalon kind of thing. And I want you to think of a world the size of Guild Wars 2's game, but it's essentially entirely Ascalon kind of thing. I think that would be awesome. So basically, I'm just going to come back and hide here. And I'm going to try and dodge the Berserker as best I can. I'm just gonna stay way back here. He's gonna jump to me, and at that point I'm gonna jump away. But here we're at 1500 range. I don't even know if the shockwaves will come this far. I'll jump just in case. I don't care about that guy. I've actually not been hit by anything yet. So there we go. That's one down. That was good. So obviously I'm not doing great damage. I'm doing okay damage, but I'm not doing great damage just because. If I can avoid being hit by the firestorm as well, that would be pretty nice. Oh god, he friggin' did another one. Oh, has he died? I did not know that he did that. Wow, that's funny. All right, so we'll stay in here. Orbital strike. All these abilities are good for us to do as well. Break bar's down, so let's move in. Drop the rifle turret, big old bomb. I used the shotgun there, probably not a good idea.
I'll be alright. Soon.
Ram is such a bro in this with his projectile deflection. Oh. Oh, wait. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we did get it. Shockwave skipper. I thought for a second I'd got that wrong and we were supposed to be somewhere else. I think there'll be a plot line where each of the orders begins to shatter, effectively collapsing the pact. I don't know now. Not since they did that thing with Logan and the suggestion that Logan might become the leader of the pact. They might not do that. Which I dream of a Guild Wars 2 where the pact where the pact doesn't exist and it's for different orders. I don't know. I think the Guild Wars 2 I dream of is just a retelling of the Zhaitan arc, which I would love so much amazing stuff they could do there. But you know, Logan at the head of the pact is actually something at this point, to be realistic, to look at today. I think that could be a lot of fun. I think actually, and I think we can see some cool stuff come from that. Imagine a trilogy of films based on the 3 Char invasions: Ascalon focusing on Abaddon, or focusing on a battle where the ground is sunk, and Kryta where the Massat destroyed the Char. Yeah, and the Soul stuff. That would be kind of an interesting, not so much a trilogy either. That could be more like you know, a weird like art house concept where you take one window of time and you have 3 movies each doing perspectives of different characters, and sometimes there's crossovers and stuff. That'd be interesting. I still maintain though that the best, if you were going to do actual films, the best trilogy that Guild Wars could ever do, the most bankable, the best paced, the best, you know, the bit with the absolute creme de la creme in terms of like story beats and whatever is Nightfall. The Nightfall campaign split into its trilogy is, in my opinion, can't be topped. And I think I made a pretty good case for that in my recent playthrough of Nightfall. It's not just because I'm a fan of it as a game. It's because I think that just when you pull apart what that story is and the beats that it has and so forth, it fits really well into a trilogy. It's like made for an adaptation almost. But we got a lot of things to do with Triple Trouble. Fractals, so the last one, guys, is take a bow. We need to get to end cliffside and just bow at the guy. So that's cool. Oh, I didn't hit the machine. It's been talked about before, but I do think they should just kill Zodja off so they don't have to worry about voice acting for her. Yeah, I think that's a cool idea. I think that if next expansion we go to Kralkatorrik and Zodja and stuff are looking for vengeance for Snaf, I think it would be a really... they could twist, you know, a big death at the end of the Kralkatorrik fight. Zodja dying to redeem Snaf somehow or whatever. I don't know. You get what I mean. There's a lot of different ways they could spin that. But yeah, get Felicia Day in, voice Zodja for the next expansion, kill her off in a big Kralkatorrik fight. Or before she even gets to Kralkatorrik. That would be pretty interesting as well. I don't know. I didn't really like them doing that with Air before she got to... But Air never had much of a stake in Mordramoth. I don't know. Sorry, that's a big rabbit hole to go down. Cliffside. Also one of the dailies. Was Palawa actually evil? Not necessarily. Well, evil is... There's a weird thing on the internet. People speak, like, very, like, strictly about stuff. Evil is always going to be a matter of perspective, right? Like, is he evil from the perspective of the people who he was enslaving and conquering? Probably. But, you know, was he as bad as an Elder Dragon? Maybe not. Right? It's a bit of a weird question to ask. It's up to you to decide whether you think what he did was bad or not, right? That's kind of my point. And yeah, it probably was pretty bad, if you ask any Alolan. Oh, I didn't get a charge. I didn't pick it up quick enough. Not that on NG I think I would really be able to climb up fast enough. I don't have swiftness anyway from other people. Oh, and especially not doing that. Thunderbar. So I'm just going to say this out loud because I can see it happening already. I'm going to have to drop this hammer on the way up, possibly, and you guys need to be aware of that. There we go, cool. They are waiting. Nice. All right, just someone else pick it up at the start of this fight here. Good, they did. And they killed too many there. We got a power necro. I think a power necro now. How do you think we'll segue to the desert? After maybe going to the Shiver Peaks? I don't know. They could do any reason for us to go anywhere in the world. From my perspective, the Jedi are evil. I know that's a bit cliche, right? Or whatever. But that was more because of the terrible direction and acting abilities there. But it's true. Ministry of Purity evil. Right, and that's a good little example. You know, if you look at John Stummy and his group with the Guild Wars Beyond stuff way back when, and you look at what they were doing with the Ministry of Purity. So people that don't know, in the Guild Wars Beyond stuff, which is Guild Wars 1's Living World, right, before Guild Wars 2 came out, it bridged the gap between the two games. They did a whole arc, like a season, right? Essentially, an equivalent of a season. They did that in Cantha, and what they were dealing with was the Canthans becoming xenophobic and basically becoming racist assholes. And, you know, they did this whole thing about this ministry building up who wanted to keep the Tengu out and all this stuff, and it was really cool. But you could see that it came... When you played through it, I'm not very familiar with this stuff anymore because I've only ever played it once. But when you go back through and you can really kind of dive into and identify with why Zayri was the way that, you know, who was the big bad person in that? You could identify with them. And you, the player character, it was even kind of a bad guy at one point in that as well. You slaughter like tons and tons of Tengu or something at one point and you're like, oh, should I have done that? But you start out working with the Ministry of Purity. It's cool. It's a cool arc. That cat, LMAO? What cat? There's a cat around? Build a wall, make the Tengu paid for it. Well, that's basically what happened, right? The Tengu did have to pay for a wall that they built.
I'll be all right. Soon.
Getting healthier.
Good, I got that just in time. Hopefully they don't kill this next one too quick. No, they were too... Oh, yes, good. Good. Nice.
Need some healing here. Getting
I'm
healthy.
gonna get stunned here, but as long as they're not too... No, they were too quick. That's lame. We could be done, but because they killed that too fast, we have to... Someone else has to pick the hammer up. It's good though. Pretty smooth. I honestly think that at the lowest scale, we should just skip that part. I don't think that part should actually exist on the lowest scale of Cliffside. I think you should just go immediately past it. Hey, thanks for the resub there. Somebody subbed. Y Bong. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Spud Club, Y Bong. You've now got cool emotes. Hopefully people can show those off in chat for you. And to all the follows as well from people. I hope Logan is the one of the people who we really have a problem with us not killing two dragons. He, as the new leader of the pact, so much juicy story potential thoughts. You really hope Logan is the one of the people? What do you mean you hope Logan is the one of the people? I mean, him at the head of the pact is cool, and I like to think of him redeeming himself by leading the pact into destroying successfully Kralkatorrik or something. That'd be cool. You didn't really like your character was so oblivious to the Ministry of Purity stuff during the first half of the arc. You killed a god and the Great Destroyer and you're this dumb. I don't think we were that dumb in it. At least I never got that impression when I was playing through. I really enjoyed the Ministry of Purity stuff. I mean, I might be a little bit wrong to have enjoyed it as much as I did because honestly, by the time that came out and the War in Kryta and stuff, like a lot of us were starved for Guild Wars 1 content. We were really starved. It was like the Guild Wars 1 content drought kind of thing, and it was anything I think a lot of us would have loved.
Getting healthier. Might makes me...
But I've always really liked what the devs did back there. Probably a big reason why I would be so excited to see them pick it back up. Imagine if they went back and started doing that. Imagine, guys. Imagine if on my YouTube channel I could have active coverage of both GW1 and GW2. Can you imagine how cool that would be? Oh. You'd never run out of videos, never run out of things to do. Oh, it's just so good. I think you can be wrong for having enjoyed stuff. I think that, like, you can miss the point of something completely and enjoy it. That doesn't mean that it was okay that you enjoyed it for missing the point. I don't know. You might just say enjoyment is enjoyment, whatever. Who are you to dictate how someone enjoys something, which would also be fair. So last seal, guys. Oh, what? It didn't even overcharge. WP, what do you think the Sun Spears are doing right now? Actually, there's lore about them. They've been captured by Palawa Joko, Twisted, or the only ones that are left are in hiding and very weak. They're not strong. It's actually amazing what happened to the Sun Spears. One of my favorite areas of lore. I've been talking about a lot of my favorite areas of lore at the moment. Shall I balance it out by saying stuff that I don't like? Scarlet Briar. The ultimate potato, my life is complete. Sorry, what? The ultimate potato? Huh? So we got to remember to bow to this guy. If I forget to bow, then this is going to be really bad. I remember right now, but of course. Did they already pull the... They did. Good job, guys. I would love the story of Guild Wars 2 was less predictable. I don't think it's been very predictable at all. Not since Season 3. I mean, predictable is not a very good way of describing this game either, because when the story was at its worst was when it was also very unpredictable. That was the early Season 1 days, where they were just throwing shit at the wall and just going to various tangents here, there, and everywhere, right? And that didn't feel very good. There was no, like, it's a fine line to walk, but I think saying predictable is a bad idea. I think it's actually a sign that the series is good. If it is predictable, then it means they've telegraphed things well. It means that in a lot of ways, it being predictable is kind of a good sign, I think. Obviously, you want to be excited, but there's kind of this weird thing as well, like, where people kind of just believe that the only way for a story to be good is to constantly be surprising you or constantly twisting or something, and that's weird to me as well. It's like, I've never really cared much for spoiler culture and spoiler fever. Oh, no, don't tell me, it's a spoiler. Like, spoilers used to mean something very specific. Like, something was a spoiler. If your product hinged on a big reveal at the end, you could be spoiled. The Sixth Sense could be spoiled, right? However, telling someone that the Titanic sinks before you watch it doesn't ruin that movie. Why? Because the product is more than some... You know, there's this weird thing. It's like, a story is only good if it has twists. And that's just so wrong. That's not right at all. If all your story has are twists, then that's a huge mistake. Do you know what I mean? You never value a soap opera, which kind of has a similar sort of release cadence and stuff, as only having strength if it has twists, would you? It's just very weird to me. Like, I don't think Guild Wars 2 should be a game where people care about spoilers that much at all. Like, you shouldn't if you hear that Logan becomes the leader of the Pact, you shouldn't freak out at that. That's who cares? That's not a big spoiler. It doesn't matter. That doesn't ruin your experience of the game. There are some things you can be spoiled on, like maybe hearing... If I told you right at the start of Out of the Shadows that was actually Balthazar, then maybe that's a spoiler, right? But 90% of what people will whine about being spoilers aren't actually spoilers, I don't think.
As for you, tell me when you're ready to act.
And there's actually a thing about, if you know a spoiler for something, you tend to enjoy the product more knowing it in advance. It's kind of a weird psychological thing.
I like it.
Oh look, we got 2 of these today. Malagan's Wells. Some accounts just get tons of those. There we go, cool. Our inventory's a bit of a mess, but that's a bunch of mastery points. Yeah, Shutter Island is a great movie. Actually, Nolan's done a lot of good spoilery movies. If you watch The Prestige as well. The Prestige is a movie you can have spoiled. But it's also a movie, if I told you the spoiler for The Prestige, which I won't here, but if I told you the spoiler before you watch The Prestige, when you watch the movie, you can have a whole new appreciation for it. You can. You know, and it doesn't fall flat. The Prestige has a twist, right? And it's a movie. It's a movie that sets itself up on a question, but also a lot more too. So anyway, I just don't think it's that black and white. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not really staking my flag in either camp, but I just think that it's crazy to just live your life in fear of spoilers for things that really, realistically, you shouldn't have to worry about too much. Knowing most things in advance won't damage the credibility of something. The Prestige is an incredible movie, by the way, as well, guys, and you should definitely watch it. It's actually my favorite of Nolan's work, I think.
I like it.
Really, really fascinating movie. I've seen it maybe 3 times now. It's a fairly recent movie. I watched it for the first time only a couple of years ago. 3, 4 years ago? 5 maybe at a push. So we have had the advantage of having done some fractals here as well. So let's buy some Oh, we can only buy one, guys. That's, mind you, we were doing the lowest tier stuff we possibly could, so maybe it's irrelevant. Maybe it's not a big problem. Anyway, so there you go. So now we can go masteries. We can spend those mastery points, right, on the Historian of the Armaments. Cool. And we can train Scholar of Secrets. So we still need another 12 mastery points. We're going to get 12 more. So let's go back to our achievements. Okay. So we can get some from collections. So let's have a look here. Basic collections. How am I supposed to know which ones afford awards? Oh, God. Let's not do collections. Collections sounds like a bit of a nightmare. Let's go to general. Silver wastes. The be all and end all. We got to kill each of those big guys. We only need one more. Who is it? The Annihilator. Go for the gold. Find all the golden badges. All the golden badges? Every single one? That's not easy. Complete the jumping puzzle. Uncover the secrets of the Sand Dune Caverns. Oh, this is good. I can do that easily. I love that. That's a great puzzle. I've wanted to show that off for ages. Oh, we'd actually get two, because we'd get one for killing the Annihilator and we'd get one for the be all and end all. So 3 pretty easy ones in the silver waste here. I love this puzzle. This is really cool. Let's go do this. And since they added gliding, it's actually really quick now compared to what it used to be. So let's go do that, JP. Definitely. We'll do that before the stream's over, without a doubt. That'll be fun. I like the sound of that. Hey, WP, I'm pretty sure you forgot to bow. No, I didn't bow. What are you doing? Vigil and Whisper armor. Isn't that stuff kind of expensive? Do you think they're going to kill off every dragon? What about the deep sea dragon underwater expansion? I don't know. I like the idea of the deep sea dragon actually being a bro, to be honest. I like the idea of he's a good guy. I see no problems with that. Do I have to get every single checkpoint to finish this? If I have to get every single checkpoint, it's not going to be as easy. So I'm not entirely sure about that. AWP, how do you think Queen Jenna will handle Logan becoming leader of the Pact? I think she's happy with that. I think that's what she's always wanted, right? Like, the idea, she's always been like, ugh, get away, Logan. Go do your own thing. That's what she's always acted like, no? Can we get spirit shards out of opening chests? We've got 10 keys for some odd reason.
Spoils of battle.
The spoils of battle. Here's a lost badge here. I mean, we may as well collect some as we go. I like seeing these. Again, this is... I hate account binding, man. I like seeing those. I like being able to pick those up. But no, I could do it once 4 years ago when this map first came out and never again. Yay. It's just stupid. AWP, random thought. Did we kind of betray Balthazar? He showed up and helped us twice, and we sent a spy, Marjorie, to him. Then we don't tell him we have a possible solution to the dragon problem, and after that we attack him with mirrors. Yeah, I know. There's definitely seems to be a thing, right? And he calls us a fool, and he's mad at what we're doing. I don't know. I think that they might set something like that up. The idea that we're maybe not the good guys right now is something that very much interests me. I want to talk about that in an upcoming video. Or if the deep sea dragon actually appears to be a good guy at first, but then we discover he's actually Balthazar. Oh, well, that would be funny. You call dibs on Jenna. I don't even think Jenna's that hot. Really? Is Jenna that attractive? She's never really done anything that would catch my eye. I mean, she's physically beautiful, obviously, right? But, like, it's a video game. It's not like that's a high bar to hit. Jenna's never, like, impressed me particularly. She's never seemed to be, like, nice. She's never seemed to be... And not that I think she's a bad character. She's just not a character I think I'd want to romance, right? Who would want to romance her? Imagine this is Mass Effect right now. Would you want to romance her? I don't think I would. I'd much sooner romance Koss than I'd romance Jenna. I'd play a female character and romance Koss, or if he was like a, I mean, if this was like Mass Effect, this is like BioWare, right? They'd add the gay options in there. Or I'd sooner have a gay video game romance with Koss than a heterosexual video game romance with Queen Jenna. I think that'd be amazing.
Getting healthier.
They'd make Koss like one of those guys that's supposed to look like a douchebag at first, but it's like, oh, I can change him, right? And you'd find out he's all like sweet on the inside. You know, like that stereotype. If this was Mass Effect, my female Norn would date Kanak. Oh, God. Do you think they'd do interspecies relationships like that? I'm sure they would.
You're kidding, right?
MOX best NPC.
Getting healthier.
Are you saying you'd romance MOX? That would be funny. That'd be like being able to romance Legion. Oh god, I got something in my eye. Some major dust issues in my eye.
You got me.
Jenna is OP Mesmer, so it's a win. Oh, what? Because she can be like illusions and stuff. By the way, the reason I'm killing these bandits is because it's only when the bandits are dead. So there you go, that's them done. Now we can kill Kendra. The gate opens to get down to the puzzle, and I don't have the waypoint down there, so. You'd romance Farron? Farron would be a romance, yeah, definitely. Oh no, maybe Farron would be the one that, you know, appears like a bastard, but then is, you know, you realize it's like, oh, he's all sweet on the inside or something. Or on the inside, he actually has no confidence at all. Right? He'd be that kind of archetype. Who would the female romances be? Would Air be one? Are Destiny's Edge on the table? If Koss is on the table, surely they are. Alright, so do we need all the checkpoints? Please, can someone tell me, do we need all the checkpoints? Because if we need all the checkpoints, this is going to become a much bigger problem. He's rich, you know. Yeah, that's true. Kaith would be a bit dangerous. Kaith would be like this game's equivalent of like Jack, like romancing Jack in ME2. We need all the checkpoints, really.
We estimate 2 to 5 weeks.
Okay, suddenly I don't want to do this if we need all the checkpoints. What do you mean? You see, it's weird to me that you say romance Almora Soulkeeper. She's got so little, like, character. She's got lore. She doesn't have much character. I don't know what's interesting about romancing her. So how many checkpoints are there, and how can I know how many I've hit?
Quickly.
Anyway, that's checkpoint 1, right? You hit my first milestone. See, oh no, the flag's the milestone. See, the Storm Wizard is tracking your progress. I get that, but why? You have to hit all the milestones if you want the Storm Wizard to make it rain with shinies. Alright. So that's 1. That means we can't cheese it by gliding. The milestone buff shows how many. So we've hit 1. How many milestones are there that we need? This is such a cool puzzle, regardless. Actually, yeah, guys, look, I'm sorry that I've just looked at the stream. We're already late. Look, we'll do this tomorrow. This will be tomorrow's stream, or it will be the day after, because tomorrow it might be more interesting if we instead go and do all Zin's recordings or something like that. So yeah, we will do this. This will be the next thing for the Legendary Hunt next time, and we'll keep going there. So and hopefully we'll get the last of the mastery points there. But yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna have to leave the stream there on this one because it's already too late. This is a big puzzle. If we have to get every single checkpoint, then it's just not gonna work. So so yeah, but thank you very much for coming, guys. I hope you all enjoyed, and I guess I will see you tomorrow at the same time. I stream 8 till 10. It was great to hang out with you guys for today. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all learned a little something and thought about some cool stuff to do with the story. And well, I will be back sooner than you know it. There you go, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks very much for the subs. Thanks very much for the donations. You guys are the best.
Quickly.
And there are 9 checkpoints. Okay, cool. Thank you.